guys, it's Hannah, and today we're going to be discussing some of my very unpopular opinions. That's right, today I'm going to be doing the Unpopular Opinions book tag. Now, I was tagged by Marilyn over at As You Read It, so thank you, Marilyn, for tagging me, and I will link her video as well as the creator's video down below, so you should definitely check those two out. I'm really excited that I got tagged to do this video because I've wanted to do this video since I started my channel, because as you guys may know, I really like talking about some of my unpopular opinions. I like controversial topics, and I like discussing them with people, so that's what we're gonna do today. Now, before I get into the tag, I just want to put out a disclaimer. I'm gonna be talking about some books that I personally was not a big fan of, and some of them are very, very popular books that I know a lot of people really did enjoy. So if I mention a book that you personally loved and is one of your favorite books of all time, please do not take offense from this video. I do not mean any offense. These are just my personal opinions on these books. It's 100% okay that your opinion is different than mine, so please do not think that if I mention one of your favorite books in this video as a book that I personally didn't like, that I hated that book or that I think that you shouldn't like that book or anything along those lines, because you are completely entitled to liking that book and I'm entitled to not liking it. And we just have a difference of opinion, and that's 100% okay. Alright, now that that is out of the way, let's just get into the tag. Question number 1, a popular book or series that you didn't like. Now for this one, I could go with actually quite a number of series, because I tend to have a difference of opinion with a lot of people on quite a few series. But I decided to go with a series that I have fully read from book 1 to the last book, and that is the Shatter Me series by Tahira Mafi. Now, I mentioned this book series in my August wrap-up, and I mentioned that I really wasn't a big fan of it at all, and I had originally filmed a book review for the series, or a series review, but I didn't end up ever posting it only because I didn't like how it turned out. I felt like I didn't convey exactly what I wanted to convey in that video, and so I'm considering refilming it or maybe just not putting it up at all because it's been about a month since I've read these books. But yeah, I really didn't like this series. I enjoyed the writing style to some degree. I understand why so many people like it, but at the same time, it really wasn't anything special to me. I had a lot of issues with almost every single character in this book series. I didn't find them interesting. I found them to be kind of stereotypes at times, and I didn't like the romance at all. And the romance takes up a big portion of this series, so if you don't like the romance, then you probably won't like the series. So yeah, this is the series. Didn't like it. I'm sorry if you liked it, but it just wasn't for me. Question number 2, a popular book or series that everyone else seems to hate but you love. Now for this question, I kind of struggled to pick a book because there aren't any series that I love that everyone else seems to hate, and I can't really think of many books that I really love that a lot of people hate, but one book does kind of come to mind, and that would be The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. I know a lot of people don't like this book because they don't like Hemingway, so this is the closest that I could get for this question. I personally adore this book and I adore Hemingway, but I do understand why a lot of people don't like it, because if you don't like Hemingway, you really couldn't like this book. But I will say, I do recommend this, and I've talked about it in a previous video. I highly recommend this book if you do like Hemingway, and I highly recommend reading some of Hemingway's short stories before you read one of his books, because it's a lot easier to get into his writing style if you do that. So if you do decide to pick up some Hemingway, start off with some short stories and then get into one of his books, because I promise you, if you like his style, then you'll probably love this book, because I truly did. Question number 3, a love triangle where the main character ended up with the character that you didn't want them to end up with, or an OTP that you didn't like. Now for this, I couldn't think of a love triangle where the main character ended up with someone that I didn't want them to be with, but I can think of an OTP that I don't like, and that would have to be Katniss and Gale from The Hunger Games. Now, if you've watched my Rip It or Ship It book tag, you would know that I do not like Gale in the slightest. he is not my favorite, and I don't like that ship at all. So if you haven't read The Hunger Games, no spoilers, but I mean, everyone pretty much knows that that is a ship that some people have. It's not a ship that I ship. I don't like this ship. I don't like it at all, and I have lots of issues with it. So that's going to be my answer for this question. Question number 4, a popular book genre that you rarely reach for. For me, this is definitely going to have to be contemporary. I rarely, if ever, reach for contemporary. Pretty much the only times I reach for contemporary is when I'm looking for a LGBTQ plus book, because I know there are a lot of YA contemporaries. I mean, not really a lot, but a few more than there have been in the past, at least more popular ones, that have come out in that genre. So usually when something like that comes out, I will reach for contemporary. For example, Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. Great book. If you haven't read it, go read it. Go read it right now. But aside from things like that, I really rarely ever reach for contemporary. I really haven't read many popular contemporary books. I have not read a single Rainbow Rowell book. I haven't read anything by Stephanie Perkins, anything by Sarah Dessen, and I could go on, but I really don't read contemporary. It's just not really for me. Question number 5, a popular book character that you did not like. Now for this, I could list off a number of characters, some of which are from some of the books that I've already mentioned, but I'm trying not to repeat in this video, so I'm going to mention someone new. And a popular book character that I really don't like is Augustus Waters from The Fault in Our Stars. Now before you kill me, please just hear me out. I do not hate Augustus Waters, but I find him extremely problematic from time to time, and I don't really love him or fawn over him or fangirl over him in the slightest. I found him to be quite irritating and arrogant a lot of the time. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I really do enjoy arrogance in characters, but it just didn't work for me in this case. And like I said, I don't hate him. I do enjoy the purpose that he serves in this story, but I don't love him. I really don't love him, and he bothers me quite frequently. So he's gotta be my answer for this question. Question number 6, a popular author that you just can't seem to get into. Now for this, we're gonna go with another controversial author / book, because I have very unpopular opinions about lots of things, and that's okay. But for this, I've got to go with Veronica Roth, the author of the Divergent series. I read Divergent, as some of you may know, a long time ago, back when I read The Hunger Games, so when I was around 12 or 13 years old, and I didn't really like it very much, and I didn't like Veronica Roth's writing style all that much. There was nothing really wrong with it, it was just not something I could really get into, and I don't see myself picking up the rest of the Divergent series, and I don't see myself picking up any of her other work if anything else comes out as well. I just don't really want to. Sorry if you like Divergent. I know a lot of people really love Divergent. I'm just not one of those people, and I'm just not the biggest fan of Veronica Roth's writing. Question number 7, a popular book trope that you are tired of seeing. Now, a few weeks back, the Top 5 Wednesday topic was book tropes that you hate, so I've already filmed a video on my top 5 least favorite book tropes if you want to go check that out. But for this question, I'm going to mention a trope that I didn't mention in that video because I have an endless list of book tropes that I hate. So for this, I don't really know how to name this trope, but it's kind of like the scenario where you have a male and female character, and if the two of them interact, they automatically have to have romantic feelings for each other. I really hate seeing this trope because it's so unrealistic. And speaking from personal experience, I have lots of friends who are male, who are heterosexual, and do not have any interest in me, and nor do I have any interest in them. We're just perfectly happy being friends, platonic, just a completely platonic relationship. And I feel like that's really rarely ever portrayed in books, specifically YA. I feel like when you have that female protagonist and then she meets this guy, the guy automatically falls for her, or she automatically falls for the guy, and then she'll talk to some other guy, and then they'll have some sort of romantic interest, and then some other guy comes in and they also have a romantic interest, and it's just, I'd like to see more male-female platonic relationships, and I'd like to see that more normalized versus just seeing every single male-female interaction as a romantic interaction. Question number 8, a popular series that you have no interest in reading. Now for this, I'm gonna go with the Anna and the French Kiss series by Stephanie Perkins. I don't really know if this is actually a series or if it's 3 companion novels. From what I understand, I think it's 3 companion novels that all somehow connect in some sort of way. But yeah, I really don't have any interest in reading them because, like I said, I really rarely reach for contemporary, and they just don't really appeal to me. I know a lot of people really love them, and it's nothing like against them. I honestly don't know anything about them. I'm just not really drawn to them and don't feel the need or want or desire to read them, so I don't plan to. But yeah, so if you guys have read them, just let me know in the comments down below what you thought of them and kind of what they're about. And if they do pique my interest, maybe I'll pick them up, because I do know that they're very well liked, but just at this point, I don't really have any interest in reading them. Question number 9. The saying goes, the book is always better than the movie, but what book or TV adaptation did you like better than the book? So for this, I'm gonna go with something that maybe might shock some of you or surprise some of you, but that is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Now, I read this book a couple of months back, and I mentioned it in one of my wrap-ups, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. And I adore the Hobbit movies. I am such a big fan of them. I have honestly watched The Battle of Five Armies a total of 7 times. That's how addicted I am to those movies. And I really think that the reason I like the movies better than I like the book is because of Tauriel and adding her character in there. I love Tauriel's character. I adore her. I think she's so wonderful and so badass. And I was just so disappointed. I mean, I was aware that she wasn't in the book, but I was really disappointed in the book because it lacked that. It didn't have the same feeling for me. And yeah, I love those movies. I love them so much. So I have to say that I really truly did like it better than the book. So now I'm just gonna tag a few people. I tag Marinez from My Name is Marinez, Sophie from Portal in the Pages, Gwen from Lavender Mud, and Andrea from The Uncoordinated Reader. So I tag you guys to do this. I hope none of you have done it before. I made sure to check, but I may have missed something, so if you've done it before, sorry. Maybe you can do it again and talk about some other unpopular opinions, or you don't have to do it at all, obviously, because I can't force you to do it, and I'm not going to. So that is it, guys. That is the Unpopular Opinions book tag. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Again, I really hope I didn't offend anyone with any of my opinions, but again, they're just my opinions. You have yours, I have mine. And I think that's one of the really great things about reading. It's that we all read books and interpret them and see them in such a different way from everyone else, and that's what makes them so special and unique to us. And I think that's what makes reading so beautiful. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye! I feel like there aren't that many people here on BookTube that talk about plays that often, so I thought I'd contribute a little bit to that genre because it shouldn't stay neglected. It should be well loved.